Peace and blessings. So this is Carlos Walker. This is Forward Progress, and what we're here to do is share stories of people who have been formerly incarcerated, came home, and made change. So today I got Chino Dollars with me. Chino, if you will, share a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, shit, you already told my name. you know, Chino Dollars, CEO, Mastermind Music, based out of Atlanta, Georgia. Um, we're a production management company. We distribute artists, concerts, film, TV, just for entertainment.
Okay. So, Chino, if you will, appreciate you too for joining us. Uh, if you will, share a little bit about how you first got into or what your life was before incarceration.
Um, I was in entertainment, you know what I mean? Right before I got incarcerated. But I came from, you know, I'm not gonna say 50% or I don't know the correct statistics, but I came from an urban community. You know what I mean? Um, where choices are very important. You know what I mean? You walk out your door, same all around the world. You got people that's engaging in criminal activity, drugs. And I came about growing up. It was the crack epidemic, pandemic, or whatever you want to call it. Crack was big on the scene in the 80s, and I'm a young guy going outside playing football. I'm seeing people hooked on drugs. I'm seeing guys dealing drugs. Um, and as I grew, even though being young, I was into playing instruments in the band, playing football. I went off to school. I went to college, University of West Georgia, for a year. But when I got to school, I realized these motherfuckers like to smoke weed and party. You know what I mean? And me coming from where I came from, getting weed wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? My family members and homeboys were some of the biggest um, drug dealers, I would say, in our little community and area. So, light bulb goes off to me that, hey, shit, you can make some money. You know, take the weed to school, do what you do, get your money, and that led to an easy alternative of me thinking criminally. You know what I mean? So I stayed in school for a year. I left. I came back, came to Atlanta, and opened my first restaurant on County Road. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it's about going legit, but my restaurant was in the middle of the hood. You know what I mean? And even though I was trying to do the right thing, I had guys hanging out at the store, at the restaurant, doing what they do. And again, me having connections went to the same path. You know what I mean? Um, Instead of breaking the cycle, getting out, shit, I started trying to get more, and that led me to getting incarcerated the first time. You know, guy set me up. This guy get caught with about 2 ounces of weed. This nigga go up and down through County Road, setting niggas up with cocaine and whatever else he can do to get out of trouble. Sure, he wasn't facing but a misdemeanor, but some people ain't built for the shit they get into. You know, so of course I was one of them guys. He set up with cocaine. I go to boot camp. So that's one strike against me. You know what I mean? On my way to boot camp, smoking, riding one day, get caught with a little bit of weed. You know what I mean? So that's 2 strikes, 2 drug offenses. You know what I mean? Even
Mm-hmm.
though it ain't no prison shit, and ain't no, I got probation and boot camp for the other one. Smack on the wrist. After while I was incarcerated in boot camp, me and one of my partners, D, we sitting around writing raps, and we talked about, you know, everybody we knew that was doing music, because I was, involved with managing a label my cousin them had. They had a group, Low Down and Dirty. and it was like some family shit. And I had other members of the family that was in music. Wingo from Jagged Edge, they was doing their thing. Lil John and the East Side Boys, Sam them, they used to paint my cars and shit. So we knew people that was taking off in music. You had JD, it just signed my partner Nitty to a production deal. So me and D sat in jail talking about, man, we get out, man, we're gonna take that music shit serious. He was like, man, I know who we're gonna mess with. We're gonna mess with my partner Gucci. So we were like, we get out, man. I'm gonna get you and Gucci together, and y'all do what y'all do. So we get out, we put that little move together. I started taking music more serious. You know what I mean? Um, as time went, fast forward, I ended up buying studio stuff. Um, Started a company, got my little bruh and got my cousin Slick. They were the first artists. So you had Young Jock and you had Shouty Slick. So we just recorded, man, recording. And as time went on, we came up with a hit. It's going down. That led us. I did a joint venture with Block. Um, and the rest is pretty much history. From there, um, I signed two producers at first. Black Elvis Williams, and Chris Flying, Chris Usher, User, I'm sorry, and they went on to be great. They carried the torch. Um,
Oh shit. Hold on, I think your sound out. I think hey. Let's see. Chino. Got to pause this.
okay, so sorry for the interruption, technical difficulties, but yeah, so Jock did. We branched and started another division, swag team. Of course, did the Stanky Leg record, Looking Boy. Um, to keep the torch rolling until I came home. You know, so that's pretty much the gist of what I was into before. My federal bid.
So if you will, shed a little light on how you caught your federal bid, if you don't mind. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna transition.
Um, well, once you get into other industries and one day you look up and you say, hey man, I gotta make a change. I was always one of those people. Hustling wasn't what I wanted to do forever. You know what I mean? I wasn't chasing all the money. Things happen in our lives where um, you just get stuck in and get into something and you're good at it. And sometimes you don't know when to quit. Well, I had quit. I had got out the game. I was done. But a lot of times when you change, you got to change your environment. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't change some of the people around me. You know what I mean?
I got you.
So I had a guy that was like my uncle. He was like my god uncle, man. He was real low key, but he was one of the biggest people within the drug game you could probably imagine. And he was like an uncle, so it wasn't about me and him selling drugs and shit no more. Um, he was just around. He was doing his legal thing too. After parties, Mayweather parties. Um, he was doing what he do, but it was a point where shit got rough on him, like a drought hit. So me and him just in conversation one day talking about it, and he was like, "Man, whatever happened to your people?" Woo, woo. And I was like, "Man, I don't know. I ain't talked to him." He like, man, reach out to your little homie and see where his family at. I'm trying to link with him. I didn't do it for a minute. You know, I was like, nah, I ain't trying to get involved in that shit. And but then when you're talking about family and you're watching them, you know, you just around and they keep talking about it. One day I just gave in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I went on and made the play. You know, put it together, and some shit went crazy with some of the shit he got. Anybody know anything about drugs? The shit was losing. It wasn't locking up. You know all this shit, and and they had a lot of his money tied up. So you know we don't deal with no regular like nigga down the street. These people come from overseas with it. So it take them a while to come and swap it out. You know, if Jesus said it ain't right, bring it back.
Uh-huh.
Swap it out. You know, so it took them probably about a month, and we talking about a lot of money tied up. Um, so finally they came, they called me like, hey, we ready, we got it for him. What's going on? When y'all want to get together? I let him know because I ain't trying to be involved. They go handle your motherfucking business. This is what's going on. He's in Vegas. He doing Mayweather party. He like, man, fuck that shit. I get that shit when I get back. And now, mind you, I don't let him hold about 100,000. I need my motherfucking money. I'm like, bro, you talking about wait, these people gone again, nigga. You still waiting to go get that shit right. I need mine. Man, fuck it. I got you two. You and your lady, I got y'all two front row seats at the fight, nigga. The party going down. I got something bigger anyway in the works. I'll chop it up when I see you. I'm like, oh, you tripping. It was my birthday. I'm like, nigga, I need my money. He like, man, just come on. I'm gonna have the flight ready for you. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm ducking his phone calls. I'm trying to go see them people. I need my money. So, long story short, I don't go on the trip. You know what I mean? I don't go to Vegas. I stay. I go meet my little partner. I get to him, and we just sitting, chilling, playing the game, waiting on their people to come, handle everything. I'm really just trying to get my money. I ain't worried about nothing else. He can get that shit when he get back, or whatever. And his people come, everything's straight. I leave, take my bag, dip, bag full of money. Um, you know, because they didn't have enough to. They'd already said it. They couldn't swap out everything to get the other money back. But they had something they wanted him to try out. You know what I mean? And see if he liked them. So they want to send me with the shit. I'm like, oh no, I ain't doing that. Not me. Hell, fuck no. I ride with that shit. So I leave. I'm driving. I'm going through. Anybody know about Atlanta? I get to the Grady Curve. I hit the Grady Curve. I see some police light behind me. So I'm in the fast lane, not the HOV lane, but the lane beside it.
Mm-hmm.
So police coming. I start getting over, getting out their way. I guess they got to get somewhere. So
You in the HOV? You're not in the HOV lane. You're in the fast lane.
yeah, and as I hit my signal to get over, this motherfucker getting over, get over. So where I end up getting over all the way, and I look back, it's about 10 police cars. So a motherfucker run up to, I'm in the label, I'm in the van. Motherfucker run up to me with the pistol out. Get out the motherfucking car. Get out the motherfucker. I'm like, hey, nigga, I got my motherfucking seatbelt on. What? He just got the pistol, like he ready to shoot. I'm like, hey, man, I ain't moving my motherfucking hands. You want me out, nigga, you reach in and get the seatbelt. He talking about take one hand, undo it, you know, got me out, snatched me up, put me in the back of a police car, right? So I get in the back of the police car, we just sitting there. I ain't gonna say shit. They ain't saying shit. Then finally, one of the motherfuckers in the driver's seat, he start having small talk. I'm like, hey man, what you pull me over for? Oh, I don't know that part. What you got in the car? I said, I ain't got shit in the car. About 30, 45 minutes, an hour go by. Two motherfuckers come in some plain clothes, go straight to the vehicle, go in the vehicle, right? Um, Start searching. Motherfucker take the back, looking up under the car and all this shit. Guess they looking for the compartments, how to open the compartments, or whatever. Um, Nothing. You see the motherfucker bounce, shit pop out. Ain't nothing going on. Shit, I'm just sitting back there like, fuck y'all, this shit even come from, wasting y'all time. Finally, they walk back toward the police car. Motherfucker got a book bag, right? The bag I got the money in. I ain't worried about no motherfucking money because I pay taxes. I can count for the money. That's the last thing I'm worried about. It's some cash money. You can come say that I'm gonna get it back. Um, they take me out the car, take me out the handcuffs. Motherfucker tell me, all right, you can go ahead and leave. I can leave with my money. I say, hey man, I ain't going nowhere without my money. Your money? What else in the bag? I said, ain't nothing else in the bag. Ain't nothing in the bag. Ah, what we doing? So the police dude get out the car, give me a yellow APD paper. It's a property paper. He just wrote on there. They didn't count the money. They ain't do none of that shit. Wrote on there, bag of UA currency and 2 or 3 BLKS, right? Up under where they had the currency. I don't know what that shit is. I get in the car, shaking like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck going on. I get in the car, boom, call my attorney. Tell him what happened. He said, hey, look, go park that vehicle somewhere and don't drive it. Park it somewhere you can and leave it where it's at. So I had the perfect place already. So I take the vehicle. I go park it. I call my homeboy to come pick me up from where I was at. Get in the car. I show him the paper. He like, what? He like, they took your money, ain't it? I said, hey, man, I don't know. They're going to get my money back. That's all I'm thinking. But as matter of fact, before I get to him, and before I get to park the van, my people called that I had just left from, right? He was like, hey, man, call me as soon as you get there and let me know if he liked them. So I'm like, man, what the fuck is you talking about? I told you that's between y'all. I hang up the phone on him, right? End of it. So now my lawyer calling, fast forward, my lawyer is calling APD. They tell him this shit never happened. I've never been pulled over. Ain't no event like this happened. So, my cousin, everybody, man, them folk done robbed you, boy. You been robbed. I'm like, rob my ass. I'm gonna get my motherfucking money. That's all I'm thinking. When I finally go see my lawyer and give him the paper, he point out, he say, hey, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 or what it was, the BLKS. And when he said, what is this? I said, man, I don't know. And like a light bulb hit me instantly. Light bulb go out. Man, this motherfucker parked all in 2 fucking lanes. Light bulb go off. I said, man, they're doing motherfucking bricks. Sitting in the lawyer office. So I can't wait to leave so I can call Jorge and ask him, did he put this motherfucking dope in the bag, right? So I call him, he don't answer. It take him about a day or 2, 3, maybe 2 weeks to finally call me back. And he acting weird. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, maybe I'm tripping, or I don't know. Because at this point, I ain't even thought about nothing else. You know what I mean? I ain't Unc just getting back. He get back. He see the paper. He like, man, tell me what. He said, man, I got this other lawyer. Let's go talk to him. We go talk to this other lawyer. We sit down, meet him, other lawyer. He was like, man, it's like this might be a federal case. He said, it might have been some dope in the bag. So I'm like, nah, this nigga didn't put that dope in the bag. I said, cause when they put the money in there, I told him I wasn't taking that shit. He was like, I don't know. Let's just sit back. If they contact you, y'all let me know. So by this time, my original lawyer called me. He said, I got some news for you. He said, you wasn't arrested that day because they didn't have proper cause to pull you over. You had license, insurance, you wasn't speeding, you know, you had your seatbelt on. They couldn't even, that's why you don't have no kind of traffic violation
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, you didn't do nothing. He said, so pretty much anything that was in that car, they got to throw that shit out.
Illegal seizure, search and seizure base.
Yeah, illegal search and seizure. He said, that's why the state didn't press charge because they shouldn't have pulled you over. He said, but what I found out through one of my people, it's a federal investigation. So I done reached out to the U.S. attorney, and yeah, they have it's a federal investigation. You ain't indicted on nothing, nothing like that, but it was some dope in the bag. My fucking heart dropped. I said, what? He was like, yeah. He said, this is the thing though. They want you to come down and talk to them, take a plea under a criminal complaint for 10 years. I said, who? Talk to who, when, well. And bitch, please.
Now, before you go into this, what did you feel, or what was the emotions that was running in your mind at this point? Because look, you just found out the dope. You already speculated, but now you know. You know, look, family. You got a business, been legal. Everything is look is on the line.
I was I was at that point where I was dealing with some shit going on with me and Block anyway. He's stealing, he done forged contracts, he done flim flam Atlantic and puffed them into a deal for Jock, and he ain't even got a contract with Jock, and we had a joint venture where he gets some of the profits. He's stealing and fraud. So now I got a lawyer up for him. So now I had to take 100,000 to put down on lawyers to go to court against this nigga. Um, then just lost that money. So you know, really, I'm looking like, man, this ain't the right time. You feel me? This is definitely not the right time. Um, so my lawyer was just like, we just waiting to see what they do. I said, fuck it. So now we go back. I tell Unc, he's like, well, let's go talk to the other lawyer and see if he can sort something out. We go to him. This motherfucker talking about cutting the deal. Let's go down there and talk to him. Me and Unc look at each other. You know how you and your partner might have a look. We sit beside each other, look at each other like this nigga right here tripping. He oh no. He telling us about all the niggas he done got off before. We looking like nigga, we see why you got him off.
Yeah, you taking deals.
Yeah. So we leave his office like, damn, we shouldn't have paid that nigga. I already paid him. You know what I mean? So now I got two lawyers, right? Sit, wait. This shit happened like in July. We come up to December, still ain't heard nothing. I'm getting ready for Christmas, buying the kids shit. You know, my girl. I'm at the point where me and her been rocking shit, been going good. I'm about to buy her a ring. You know what I mean? So I done went, found the ring, boom. December the 17th. My son's birthday was December 15th. Her daughter's birthday was December 18th. So we had them a big little shindig that weekend together. Let the girls do, like they 7, 8 years old. They turned to 7. You know what I mean? Same age. So we had the girls, my daughter, her other daughter, my 2 boys. We let them do stuff, him and his friends and the girls. We had a good weekend. You know what I mean? Um, Kids had fun. So that 17th, my phone ring. I'm in there cooking dinner. My lawyer called. He said, "Hey, I got some good news and some bad news. Which one you want first?" I said, "Man, give me the bad news." He said, "Well, they called. They want you to turn yourself in tomorrow." I said, "Tomorrow?" And called them people, see if I can get some time to get my affairs in order. Woo-woo. He said, "Well, the good news is I can get you a bond because you ain't no violent criminal, you ain't no flight risk, all these different things, right?" So I'm like, okay, sound like I have some time to figure shit out, if you can get the bond. So tomorrow won't be bad. I said, but still call him and ask him. He called him. He called me back and said, nah. They said either you can come in tomorrow
So they
or
come to
they gonna
get
s- or they come to get you. I said, they gotta come get me, man. I ain't never ran from shit. So, that night was like, damn.
you. Worst night
But
of
I'm
your life.
yeah, I'm like, damn. So I tell my girl, woo, woo, woo. She was like, well, I won't go to work. I like, nah, y'all got that training, you doing this. Going to work. I'll be out. I'm at a bun when I get to hearing. If it ain't today, tomorrow, you be there. Um, but I was like, I need to get the money together for the bond. Like I need to have all my shit together just in case. So before the girl I was with then, I had another girlfriend that me and her actually bought the house I was living in together, right? So we had like business stuff tied up together. Her shop, um, and the house and certain stuff we had intertwined, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got a cousin that I came up with, I don't ever have to worry about shit. You know, um, I could leave $2 with him forever, and the same $2 gonna be there. You know what I mean? And he get his own money, had his own money. So I called him like, look, cuz I got to do this. I need you in the morning because I need to go to the bank. I need to give you this money I got. I need to go to the bank. I need to pull out some money just in case the bond or handle the bills or whatever. And I need to give you these bank cards. But I also had some shit tied up with my ex that I need to handle. So I called her, like, I need you over here in the morning. Told her what was going on. She came. Me, her, and him go to the bank. Me and her had this account. I clear the bitch out, get the money to my cousin, because she had to sign too for, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Boom. I go down to the federal courthouse, get there. They, I go in the courthouse. They take me into the holding tank. I see the 2 Mexicans that was my partners, like uncles, the one from the cartel. They in a holding tank. They look at me like they don't know me. I don't know y'all. Go in. They take me back out. Take me in the room with my lawyer couldn't go, so I had to use the second lawyer that I had. I had to use him to go turn myself in because my other lawyer's out of town. So we get there. He called me out like, "Hey man, they want to talk to you bad." I said, "Man, I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't know nothing. I don't want to talk about nothing. I don't want to do it. They want you to look at some pictures. Bro, I don't want to look at nothing." Well, fine, be it. Take me back, put me in the holding tank. A little while later, they take all of us out and take us down to the cars that they gonna take us to pre-trial down to the city jail land. Pre-trial. We get in the cars. These motherfucking agents start talking. Them motherfuckers start telling me, boy, you be partying, boy. Boy, we ain't know nothing about you. We ain't know nothing. We know you ain't got nothing to do with that, man. You around everybody. You doing everything. Yeah, remember that night you went to this party? These motherfuckers been following me for the last few months, trying to build a case. I ain't selling no dope. Like, y'all wasted tax dollar money following me. I said, hope y'all had a good time. They're like, oh, yeah, we had a good time that one night at Magic City, boy. Y'all turned that motherfucker up. Like, they in there partying. I see the other agent driving the Mexican. This nigga tried to talk to me one night. I remember his face. He tried to talk to me. Hit him with curved him, then talk to him. Go, long story short, they drop us off at the jail. Little agent tell me, hey man, you talk to her, man, you won't do a day. You'll go back home right now. There ain't nothing to talk about. Mama, I'm getting the bond anyway. And I'm gonna beat this shit, because I know y'all illegally search and seize my shit. Fourth Amendment right. Go to court, right? The next day, they pick us up from the jail. They put us in the back of a paddy wagon. When the Migo, he look at me and say, hey, my friend, damn, she fine. How you doing? I'm gonna see you when you come back. I'm single, so yeah, I can do without you. That shit in a little rain roll. Okay. Um. So yeah, the Migo look at me and say, very, very dangerous people. You say nada. I say, nada. He say, good. So these motherfuckers speak some English, but they got these folks think they don't speak no English. They trying to talk to them. You know, they don't understand nothing. They comprehend nada. So he told me that. I like, cool. And nothing else to be said. So get the court bond here. They tell the story what happened. The judge drop his glasses and say, why is he here? All of this sounds illegal. He wasn't arrested. He wasn't given a citation. He wasn't. I don't understand, but that's for another court here. Today, I'm going to set him a bond of, before he could say it, a little motherfucker in the back stood up. Your Honor, I'm from pretrial, and he has probation in DeKalb County. Unless man got no motherfucking probation. Go back 10 years prior. That dope case I told you about, boot camp, it was a 10-year over the head with a boot camp sentence.
And you broke it before the 10-year mark.
1 month before the 10-year mark.
Oh.
That shit don't even show up on my shit. You feel me? Everybody looking like, man, I ain't had no probation. So
you said you just found out about the probation situation.
yeah. So the judge says, according to Congress, if you're on probation for a drug charge, you can't get a bond for a drug charge. He said, but it seems like it's up next month. You come back to me, we'll get you a bond. Because you're not a flight risk. You turn yourself. You know how they use the same line on everybody. How in the fuck can everybody be a flight risk? How can everybody be a threat to the community? How can everybody be the same shit? And I know the judge hit this over and over, and y'all just keep grunting these people to hold people, fucking up their lives for the same lie y'all use. I'm sure they said at your bond here.
I ain't getting no bond.
A threat to the community. What's the other one? Flight risk. I know a danger community. Flight risk. All this weak ass shit y'all say on everybody, right? So, boom. I'm facing, at the time, I'm facing 10 years. I got 2 counts. Conspiracy which you know is a 10-year mandatory minimum, and I had possession with intent to distribute 500 grams or more, which is a 5 to 40.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so now these motherfuckers find out I got a prior that 10-year mandatory minimum. You know the 851 goes to
Mm-hmm.
20-year. And that weed charge I told you got probation for, they found out about that one. That makes the conspiracy a life sentence now.
Mm-hmm.
For a little bit of weed and a little bit of dope, 10 years ago,
Then just turned to a
y'all
life sentence.
y'all trying to give me a life sentence. So they use that. So when we go back for the bond hearing, I can't get a bond. Because they saying I'm facing a life sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So now, let the games begin. It's a wait period. You know, from that, for anybody, you know, I be telling niggas, hey man, y'all out in these street playing. If your money ain't together, hey man, get out the street.
Go to work.
Go to work. Because let me tell you what happened. And I just had this happen to a homeboy right now who fighting the case in federal prison holding right now. Nigga been rich. Been had his money. Own a club, out the way doing what he do. Somebody got jammed up in his situation and brought everybody down. When I thought he had done retired. I know his money long as train smoke. You feel me?
Ain't no
I thought
need to
he
do.
ain't no need to. So let me show you how quick this shit happened. We can use realistic numbers of niggas who really done been shaking and baking and understand this this situation. If you got a truck coming and you say, hey, I'm getting 1,000 bricks, and these motherfuckers costing me 15,000 a brick, take your calculator and do the math. 1,000 times 15,000. What is that?
What is that? 15. Hold on, let me see. 15 mil?
Add it up. I want you to get a
No.
calculator. You got your cell phone?
Yeah, well, myself, this is what I'm using. So I'm
Ain't
trying.
nobody
I'm trying to.
ain't
Let me see.
nobody
You said
around you.
15,000. Hold on. You said 15,000 at and how many?
At 1,000.
Yeah, that's 15 mil, ain't it? You count. It was
1.5
150 mil.
1.5 mil.
Okay, 1.5 mil.
Because you do 15,
15.
15 times 10 is 150.
Mm-hmm.
Another 150, 300,
Mm-hmm.
and so forth. So now you do that and you been hustling and you ran up with 1.5, right? Shit get knocked, that's 1.5 million gone.
Get none of this back.
Gone. Over with. Now let the game begin. I'm sure when you touching that kind of money, you got responsibilities, bills,
Yes.
shit you done bought, shit you doing. So if you sitting on a meal,
Mm-hmm.
every federal lawyer you start with, you get that conspiracy shit, start at 50,000. So you get two lawyers, that's 100 band.
You ain't
You
getting
going
this
to
money
trial,
back.
you going to trial, that's 100 and 100, that's two.
You ain't getting none of this money back.
Ain't coming back. So when you hit a certain point where you say, man, I'm reading up with 1.5, nigga quit.
Please.
I made it.
1.5 is some is money that some people will never see. Period.
You made it that far. It's time to quit. So, and I know that was nothing to some of these guys because they running 7, 8, 9, 18 wheelers. So you imagine if every 18 wheeler carrying $3 million, you
Yeah.
got 10 of them running. That's $30 million. That is not gonna do you no good sitting in
So
that
my,
jail cell.
I promise you that. Look, we're gonna move this conversation just fast forward a little bit, but just to say that I met a dude sitting back there. Big Meech. He was tied with Meech. I forgot his name. He was in the cell in the same unit I was in. Touched had over $50 million at one time, and was sitting back there with us eating ramen noodles and everything that we was eating. He was
Chips and rice.
basically on the same look. Me, the most money I've ever had that I can count out personally was 55 grand, and I watched all my money disappear. And guess what? We was basically the same men
You're gonna be the same man in them khakis and boots,
in them khakis and boots.
and,
Look,
and
man,
whatever and whatever shoe they sell on the commissary to work out in.
he can buy as many as he want to off somebody else's, but off
Yeah,
of
and
his
you
own
can't
account.
you can't even buy as many as you want because
Look,
get what? They
on
put
his
a
own
limit.
on his own account, it was just one. Now he might be able to take and get people to get stuff for him, but technically, look, all that money won't worth it.
What you can spend $270 a month.
Was it 270 or two something like that? I forgot 310. I think on
uh,
holidays during
Holidays, they
holiday
give you a
month.
spending bonus, so you can buy you some more gray sweats.
So we're gonna move
So
forward.
it brings it to where you do all that, right? To leave it to somebody else to enjoy it and fuck up. Because 9 times out of 10, if they couldn't get it themselves, they don't know what to do with it.
Ain't got a
So
clue.
they gonna lose it. They gonna spend it. They gonna fuck it up and be in a bad situation, a worse situation, because they gonna go get in debt.
Hmm.
I got this money. I'm gonna send him a little bit. I'm gonna spend this. I went through it all. You know what I mean? And even though if you can stack it up, when you're sitting there, you're able to take care of your kids. Out of my 3 kids, one was pissed. Money didn't matter. She wanted her daddy there. The boys, a little different. Well, dad was able to do this for us while we were locked up. We ain't miss nothing. You know, we ain't miss a meal. We had Christmas. We had birthdays. You know, they kind of understood from a male perspective. My daughter didn't understand that.
How long did you do?
8 years, 7.5.
Okay, so
You
they
know.
ended up giving you what 10?
hmm
So they ended up giving you the 10, and during this process,
They tried to get me with the 20. That's why I tell people you have to educate yourself. When you go to jail, don't spend all your time beating on the table trying to rap.
mm,
Take your ass to the law library. So I'm helping my lawyers, and I'm looking at what's going on, and I'm looking at, hey, they ain't trying to use but one prior. So on that conspiracy, that's 20 years if I take a plea. On the possession with intent, that's 10 years if I take a plea. They came to me with a plea for the conspiracy, which they're gonna try to sneak back in and use that 851, give me 20 years. I'm not signing it. Crank the box up. I go hire 2 more lawyers.
you took for the
I
5 to
go,
40.
yeah, I went and hired Don Samuel and David Wolf. Now I got 4 attorneys. I'm ready to go to trial. The morning of trial, I go in there, they come back and they say, all right, we'll give them the plea for the possession with intent.
5 to 40.
My lawyer, I'm like, man, I don't want no priors. Because without the priors, I ain't looking at them for fucking 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I already done 2 and some change. He come back, they slid 851 in on me.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me a 10-year mandatory minimum. So I'm gonna get the drug program, because I ain't got no violent, no gun, no none of that. And I'm gonna get my good time. Be 8.5, 8 years, whatever. Including halfway house, bump you down, seven
You
and a
might
half.
get upset, yeah.
Yeah. So I took the plea. And a little while later, they pack us up, send me all the way to California, Victorville.
Oh, you was at Penn.
They got they got the pen, the medium high out there. So I
Well,
end up at the medium high.
you still in California. It doesn't even matter. It's still just like the Penn almost.
Oh, it was the pen. Migos run everything.
Mm-hmm.
Bloods and Crips, they won. So niggas be out here talking about all that gangbang shit. Hey man, I done seen y'all niggas under pressure. I done seen y'all. I done been there with y'all niggas for 2 years. I know the politics. I understand a blood and a crip will motherfucking eat together, work out together, and do all this shit when the pressure on. So These niggas had their coalition where the Bloods, Crips, the Cali, the Migos so strong, they rolling together. And they had a riot. That's why we ended up out there. Crips had a riot with the Migos. They sent a lot of them to the East Coast. They sent a lot of us from the South, Chicago, the Midwest, and Texas out to California. Now when you get there, nigga, who you rhyme with? You came from this side. You say you're a Blood. You say you're a Crip. Now you better be a do boy. Cause what they say is you ain't from the motherland.
Yeah,
So
they
nigga,
don't respect
you hold a knives, nigga. You get on count with them, you hold a knives, nigga. That's what you do. So, we had a whole coalition of the South. Then you had the
you.
Midwest car. And we ran together. So you had the GDs and Vilars and all them together. Got them Pisces and Northanios and Serranos and all this shit. They don't go.
Mm-hmm.
They poking shit up, stabbing shit up. They be ready. And niggas play the politics. You can't just hit with amigo. Shot caller got to get together, set
Mm-hmm.
it up so it ain't no riot. We had a dude out of Iowa. He hauled off and smack amigo in the kitchen. Now they come to us. Either it's a riot or you got to run this nigga up to the box.
One of the two.
And he was a GD. So the GD wrapped him up, packed him up, sent him up top to keep the peace. He was out of pocket. So it'll be a lot of politics. A lot of niggas don't come home, especially out that way. You'll see blood coming up under the cell from the middle of the night. And they done got yam, poked up while he was sleeping. Got into it with his celly before he went to sleep. Celly got a life sentence. He don't get no fuck. Do him in. So any man who walks through there on that side of the country and make it out, he got a different level of understanding. He has a different level of navigating. So my next spot, they sent me to South Carolina, Bennettsville. I get over there, niggas loose as a goose. It just all out, you know, niggas like they're in the free world. And I'm coming from a penitentiary mind state. Hey, my nigga, you can't do this, you can't do that. That certain shit don't fly. Um, that was a different experience. A lot of them had seen nobody get killed before or a riot jump off, and you got to take a shower in your boots.
Mm-hmm.
Can't walk to the shower without your boots on. They hadn't experienced that type shit, so it was real how you say it, lackadaisical. It was
Like a day.
real
Like a that.
comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that started getting me back to a free world mind state, not being on the edge all the time. So then they sent me to Butner one, which was sweet as bear meat. They sent me to that motherfucker. And that's when you see a lot of the high profile people we've seen, the Barney Madoffs, Carmine, the head of the mob, Nikki, Serena, all the big people over there. So it's really like a college campus at this motherfucker, free weights and it was a different environment from where I started. But what didn't change was you couldn't go home.
Mm.
You know, it was one of those experiences where you could use it for your benefit. Cause me, I wrote a couple books while I was locked up that got published that actually went in Barnes and Nobles, um, a whole bunch of other book chains and stuff like that. So
I want
I was preparing for my return because
I
I knew
want to
I
say
was gonna
that's
make
how
it
we met. We met through Pretty from New York.
back.
Uh, I ended up did Pretty write a book? I know I did the book
Yeah.
cover to the book.
He was writing something, but it didn't ever come together.
Okay, that's a and then me and you actually chopped it up a few times on Bennettsville compound and whatnot. And over the next couple of years, we have kept in touch.
Yeah.
So you start preparing yourself. This is where the mindset comes in of moving out here because you didn't wait till you got home to
Nah, you.
Forward progress. You started where you was at.
I mean, you got to look at the recidivism rate
Mm-hmm.
and how many people return back to prison. And part of it is the fake ass programs they got in prison ain't worth a fuck when you hit the free world. You get a certificate in there, you know how to do something, but you get out here, you can't use that certification to get a job. They don't honor that shit. Um, Financially, you got to think over 80% what I learned when I was locked up of guys didn't have over a fourth grade reading and comprehension level.
That's true.
Half of the compound did not have a GED
That's
or
true.
a high school diploma. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they get their GED, now they go to further their education,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't because it's not a program that they offer that is honored out here in society. You take the CDL course, you learn everything about a truck. You still got to get out here, go to school to get your CDL,
To
to get the
drive it and
permit.
everything.
Guys learn skills like what's some other jobs they might have.
Welding. They learn
Welding.
welding. There's a few things they do learn.
Still don't and it don't matter when you get out here. So now you're putting them back out here with nothing. You want them to go to school, they put in for these grants or programs they supposed to have, and they only let a certain amount of people get those um grants,
Mm-hmm.
to go get a job. I had a homeboy that came out that got into a program that did help him get his CDL. You know, he was one of the few. But a lot of the guys get back out, they ain't got shit. Their family ain't got shit. They try to get a job. Why they can't get a job? They're a felon. The jobs they can get ain't paying shit. Out of they getting a job, they're paying them $200 a week. Where you gonna pay rent at? Off of fucking $800 a month. So they force their hand to go back to that criminal mind state to try to survive and get ahead. 'Cause everybody wants something.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? They slip up, get caught up, and they
And go
back
back.
in the system.
How did you get past this mind state? I know you said you prepared yourself. You wrote how many books?
Hey, well, I wrote four. I only put out two, and I published two other authors' books.
Okay.
Um, the key to me being able to make it, I wasn't afraid. I ain't never gave a fuck about nobody else's opinion. I
Mm.
ain't. I don't live to keep up with the Joneses. I know how to sacrifice to get ahead. See, a lot of people don't understand sacrifice. Bitch, I spent 7 years eating tuna and mackerel and noodles.
Let's say you can do
So
that another 10 if you have to get where you need to
I can do
get.
it another 10 to get to where I gotta get. I don't have to jump out and just because I'm out chase and get the freshest car right then. I know I can drive this piece of shit for a while, take my money, stack it up, invest it in something that's gonna make more money, and to where I done hit enough drugs to where I can ride how I want to ride. I can buy what I want to buy. I don't have to chase the big house out the gate. You know what I mean? I can stack up money, get me something that I ain't got to worry about taking care of, accumulate more revenue, invest that into different business ventures. Sacrifice and humility is something that a lot of people don't have or they haven't practiced on utilizing. And
And you
I didn't have a problem with
you
that.
practiced before you went to prison. You
Yeah,
had a lot of knowledge of it, but sitting in prison made you value the things 10 times more.
yeah. I mean, you think about it, you get $100. You can go buy a pair of shoes because the shoes you got on is a little scuffed up and
Or you
tore
can
up.
get food.
Or you could take $100 and say, I'm gonna spend 30 on food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take this other 70 and I'm gonna invest it in this shit over here that I can make $30 profit off of.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you take that 30 profit, turn that to 100. reinvest it. And I buy them shoes when I got an extra 100 on top of my investment money to buy the shoe. I can wear these dirty shoes for a minute. I can clean them up, do what I got to do. And then when I do buy some shoes, get where I probably have no money where I don't want them $100 shoes. I want $1,000 pair of shoes.
Come
It's
on now.
like fixing your mind to say what prison should teach you is don't nobody give a fuck. Really, honestly, they got to survive for them.
Mm-hmm.
So what point you got to prove jeopardizing your life to look a certain way to prove a point to somebody else who don't give a fuck?
Come on now. So now I want to move forward one more time. You done came out of prison. How long you been home now?
I want to say 8 years.
Been home 8 years. In the last 8 years, I want you to talk about or tell me what you have done, what you want to accomplish, and where you see yourself. Because from what I know about you, I know a little bit, but everybody else don't. They don't know you still in the industry
Yeah.
or still managing.
Uh,
You see what I'm saying? Share a little
yeah.
bit about that.
Well, my initial thing when I came home was I owned a trucking company, 18 wheeler. Um, I did that. Got a truck, got a trailer, got a driver, and didn't worry about, like I said again, buying a car and all these clothes and all this shit. I invested in something to make some money. You know what I mean? Just I was just blessed enough to have some money when I came home
Yes.
to where I could invest. But what I didn't have, what is more important, was the credit.
Mm.
So what I did was I went on a journey to better myself, investing in myself. So I went and got a secured credit card, used that a little bit, made the payments, got an offer from a regular little bit of credit card, two different ones. I got those. I utilized those. Um, and I started on my journey of building my credit. You know what I mean? Um, so when the time came that I wanted to make purchases, investments, if I needed a loan or anything in that nature, I couldn't be turned down. You
Okay.
know, I probably couldn't get the amount I wanted, but any amount that I'm approved for, give it to me. Let me do that for a minute, pay it back, boost me up some more. So I went on a journey of not about working, but actually building for my next moves down the road. Because I
Okay.
know I wanted to go to real estate. I knew it was certain things I wanted to do that I couldn't walk in nobody's bank and they look at your credit profile talking
And
about
that joint is
lending
nothing.
you something. They looking like, come on. Even though you got the money to put the down payment down on whatever you want to borrow, but you ain't got the credit to match. So I started building my credit profile. You know what I mean? That was my main thing. Not working, not nothing. I had the truck making me a little bit of money. I could pay some bills. I can eat. That's enough for me. The rest of it, I'm putting it in the bank. You know what I mean?
You solidifying for the future.
Yeah. So I started with that, and I looked around me. I evaluated the people around me,
Mm.
my circle, and I said, okay, what are they not doing? They could be doing. What could they be doing? What could they be doing? What? And I started picking people out, right? And I went to those people with business ideas. Hey, I got a few dollars, but not really enough to do what I want to do. But I know you got it, and you'll be good, and you probably ain't thought about it. Um, what you think about doing this? And I went to them, and everybody I went to was like, damn, that would be dope. Let's do it. So we opened a nightclub.
Okay.
Me and three of my partners, or my cousins and two of my partners, we opened a nightclub. Remodeled, did all the things, had the indoor pool in it. We started, you know, getting into the nightlife. Now, as I'm doing that, I go to my cousin and my brother and I'm like, look, man, we need to get a club too. Y'all niggas got the money. Y'all ain't doing nothing else. I said, hey, Jock, you got the name to where we
It's
could
gonna
pull
jump.
people in.
It's gonna jump.
We promote it. You host it. We do everything. I like it. I like it. How much I need to do? I tell him. He just boom. We open a club on the south side. So now we got two clubs going. I got this over here with these guys. I got this over here with them. Um, got into the nightlife. That went to, I think we got, yeah, we end up shutting down the main club venue, and we didn't have no spot. We went to this little